Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Jack, and welcome to the Let's Talk Show. We're here on this afternoon here on UrbanCast. Joining us today is Jim Smilie, Public Information Officer with the Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries. Here to talk about this upcoming National Hunting and Fishing Day events going on down in Woodworth this weekend. It's always uplifting to see our community coming together to celebrate our natural heritage, and those events provide incredible opportunity to experience for the outdoors firsthand. Jim, thank you for joining us today.
Thanks for having me, Jack. I appreciate it.
No problems. Could you start by sharing what makes National Hunting and Fishing Day such a special tradition here in Louisiana?
Well, National Hunting and Fishing Day is, as the name implies, it's a national celebration of our natural resources, hunting and fishing. Louisiana Department of Wildlife and Fisheries will be hosting 4 events on Saturday. There'll be one up in Minden, one in Monroe, one in Baton Rouge, and then the one here locally, the Senlaw event, will be at the Woodworth Wildlife and Fisheries Education Center in Woodworth. That's the same location as the shooting range, if people are familiar with going out there for that. But it's a family-friendly, free day of all sorts of hands-on activities. It starts at 8 o'clock in the morning. We'll go till 1:30 in the afternoon. But we're going to have all sorts of fantastic things, like say hands-on activities where kids can fish. We've got 2 stocked ponds. One has bass, the other one has catfish. So bring your rod and reel, come on out, and we'd love for you to catch some catfish and some bass. We really want people to catch the bass. We've got some nice good sized bass in that pond, and they're eating us out of house and home with the feed. So we're hoping people come catch some fish. We'll also have archery. We'll have shotgun shooting. Those kind of hands-on activities for folks. We'll also have a whole bunch of demonstrations of things. There'll be alligator skinning. We'll have some trappers that'll be doing some demonstrations. We'll have fish identification, waterfowl identification. So, an educational component, so you can kind of learn, when you look up and, oh, what kind of bird is that flying? Well, okay, that one's a wood duck. That's a mottled duck, whatever, we can teach that. Or you catch fish. Well, what are the native species to Louisiana? We'll have examples of that. We'll have some live alligators, small ones, baby alligators that young people can touch and enjoy and learn about. We also have one of the highlights. It's always fun every year. We have a frog tent. And what we've done is the guys do a great job with this. They go in and they create a swamp-like environment where kids can go in and it's dark. They put on headlamps and they can go in there and they can actually catch bullfrogs.
Okay.
Yeah, they don't get to keep them. We turn them back in, but that's always something that the kids enjoy. As I said, everything is free. Now we will have some food trucks available, so if you're hungry, you can get snacks and stuff like that while you're there. At the end of the day, at 1 o'clock, the Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office, their SWAT team will be doing a demo out on the rifle range. That's always exciting to see, where they normally drop some smoke bombs and flashbangs and do stuff like that. So that's always interesting to see.
Right.
So it should be a lot of fun, a really great time for everybody that comes out.
And when you start talking about this idea of Rapides Parish Sheriff's Office SWAT team being there, for that child that's interested in a career in law enforcement, that's a good opportunity for them to see it firsthand.
Absolutely. And if law enforcement, like sheriff's office, isn't what you're interested in, wildlife and fisheries, we have our enforcement division, where we're always looking for agents, game wardens and that sort of thing. And we'll have enforcement agents that'll be there. I know we'll have at least one enforcement boat that'll be on exhibit. There'll also be tons. We've got more than 45 exhibitors that'll be out there, so there'll be a lot of free stuff, a lot of giveaways. I know We've got some like professional fishermen, anglers that'll be out there, and I know they usually give away some lures. I know Delta Waterfowl will be there. Will be, I think they're going to bring a bunch of duck calls that they'll be giving out. Also, as people come through, they can register for door prizes, and we'll be giving away a whole variety of door prizes, including a couple of rifles and 2 lifetime hunting and fishing licenses.
Wow, 2.
Two lifetime hunting fishing licenses.
You mean to tell me the state of Louisiana going to give up on that on 2 lifetime?
It's an investment in our youth and our.
It's an investment.
Yes. Right.
Okay. All right. Wow. Well, I was reading that the Woodworth event was one of the largest, or is the largest of the 4 events. What's going on down in Woodworth? What's happening in Central Louisiana that causes our event to be the largest of all 4?
It's a good question. I'd love to tell you that the guys that and the men and women that put it on here just do the best job. But
I hear you.
Everybody does a great job. You got. I understand. For example, in Baton Rouge, it's a little bit harder. You've got more activities competing. More of an urban area. You've got an LSU home football game that night. That may draw some. That may impact Baton Rouge a little bit. But we have a very supportive group here in Central Louisiana of dedicated outdoors people, and they come out, they put on a great event, and I think this event has built that history that it is a lot of fun and that there are a lot of great activities, and so we're expecting more than 2,000 people will come out there during the day and have a good time.
Wow. As I was reading over the information there, Jim, these events focus a lot on conservation and education. Can you talk about how Wildlife and Fisheries is using this day-to-day to promote wildlife conservation here in the state of Louisiana, specifically here in Central Louisiana?
Yeah. Well, that is our number one thing to do. Is we're here to conserve, manage, and protect the natural resources that we're so fortunate to have here in Louisiana, in the sportsman's paradise. Locally, when you look at our area, we're centrally located, so it's a great training opportunity for people from throughout the state to come here. So the education facility is often used there in Woodworth for lots of training things, whether it's training hunter education instructors, whether it's enforcement agents coming and getting training, or those sort of things. So we do a lot of educational programs there. We've also got Alexander State Forest, which is a wildlife management area here. Of course, we butt up with the Kisatchie National Forest, so you've got a lot of things there. We've got, in addition to the Woodworth office, we have a brand new facility in Pineville that just recently opened, and we'll have a grand opening for next month. But so you've got a lot of our biologists and research folks are right here in Central Louisiana.
Okay.
And a lot of them do double duty. For example, the person that runs the Woodworth facility, he is a trained biologist. So he knows, he's a trained wildlife biologist, and he knows all about going out and doing sampling and doing counts and all the different field studies that they do. But he also happens to be assigned to the education division, so he also teaches and trains and manages the facility. So you get mixes of people like that. Most of the people in the Pineville office are specialists in different things. We've got everything from deer management specialists to there's a specialist for red cockaded woodpeckers and for ducks and all. So you get some people with very specialized knowledge, and we have the natural resources and the habitat here that makes a good study area. So we're able to do a lot of that work. Plus, like I say, from the education standpoint, we focus a lot on teaching and growing the interest in the outdoors with the young people. You
Right.
know, we want to give them opportunities to put the phone down
Mhm.
and, come on out and enjoy realistic activities. Come on out and don't pretend to catch a fish on your app. Come on out and really catch a fish.
That really counts. And as you articulated earlier, you said the bass are pretty good size, and y'all really want to get them out of the pond because they're costing you a whole lot to keep them fed, all that kind of good stuff.
They are. They're eating the bluegill that are in there like crazy. They're eating the feed. Yeah, we need them caught.
Okay, all right. For someone who's never attended before, what would you say is the biggest draw of National Hunting and Fishing Day? And I'm asking that because I'm coming from Urban Cast, and I'm talking about
Right.
that urban kid who want to get out there and throw.
Yeah, and it really depends on what your interest is, and that's the great thing about it is we've got a little something for everybody. Fishing is always huge, and so a lot of the people that come early, first thing they do is they go sprinting over to the ponds to go catch fish, and so that's a huge draw. But for a lot of people, they've never seen what goes into skinning an alligator. They haven't haven't fired a rifle or a shotgun, done skeet type shooting, or they've never had the opportunity to shoot a bow and arrow or do any of those things. And so, you get a lot of different things. You get a lot of grandparents bringing grandchildren there, and they're able to show them, say, hey, look, this is, here's what I'm talking about when I say this is what we do, So fishing's probably the biggest draw. But like I say, the exhibits are there, and you've got the folks that are there for the to learn, because you can talk to experts if you want tips on fishing, if you want tips on hunting, if you're interested in doing trapping or any of that sort of thing, or if you're there like, hey, I live near a bayou and I've had a nuisance alligator. What do I do about that? Well, you got the people there that can take care of that and can answer those questions too.
Okay, all right. It seems like you. I noticed you said in that email to me that the weather was going to look good this weekend.
Yes,
that's
the biggest thing we worry about.
So you think with it looking so good, you guys are definitely going to hit that the 2,000 that you typically see.
I sure hope so, because we're talking about a high of 86. So if you're coming out at 8 o'clock in the morning, it may be like this morning was, where you get out there and it's in the upper 60s. It's just real comfortable. Shouldn't it's not going to be like the LSU game last weekend where everybody was getting scorched in the stands. This should be it should be very comfortable weather, even all the way through the event. I mean, if the high's 86, at noon, you're comfortable the whole time.
Okay. Tell me this, Jim. Is there somewhere folk can find more information about the event?
Absolutely. You can go to our website, which is www.wlf.la.gov. Also, we're on Facebook. So just look for Louisiana Department of Wildlife Fisheries on Facebook. And we've also got an event page specific to National Hunting and Fishing Day Woodworth.
Okay. All right.
So lots of ways to find out about us.
Okay. And of course, when we're off, I will update this post with those direct links as well, Jim. Before we close, Jim, can you share any personal stories, about moments that you've had down at Woodworth or any of the other sites on this day?
Well, I've got a really cool job. I got to admit, this is a lot of fun. I mean, I get to do things like I've been out in a boat off the coast in the Gulf, where they're sampling and estimating shrimp populations and getting the counts on the redfish and dredging for oysters and seeing how they do all of that. I've gotten to go out and be with them when they're banding birds. So they catch them and put the bands on them and release them. I got to see baby whooping cranes that had just hatched. And whooping cranes are highly endangered. You don't get to see a lot of them. That was fascinating. But I will tell you, with National Hunting and Fishing Day, I actually live in the Woodworth area, and so and my son, when he was little, he's huge into the outdoors, and he's the person now running the Woodworth facility for wildlife and fisheries. But when he was little, I remember, we would go to this event every year. So, we've been there as just general public, dad and his son out there doing the event. As he got a little older and was interested in it, he volunteered. And now this will be my second year to be able to go out there and watch him actually manage this event and put it on. And that's really cool for me.
Well, that's interesting. The idea that both of you guys participated with him coming up. Now he's working for the department, and both of you guys are working for the department. That's kind of
he's the real deal. He's a trained biologist. He knows all the fancy stuff. I just blab about it.
You just blab about it. I hear you. In other words, you get the opportunity to do the mutual Omaha part of it and all that kind of good stuff.
Yeah, exactly. While Michael wrestles with the killer alligator, I'll be safely over here with my camera. Yeah.
I hear you. But Jim, did you have? Was it anything that we didn't ask that you want to let the public know?
Well, I will mention, just for if somebody's not familiar with getting to the Woodworth facility, if you're traveling there by I-49, it's exit 73, and then head west over towards Woodworth. If you're traveling that way by US 165, coming down from Alexandria or coming up from Glenmore, Forest Hill area, when you get to the traffic light in Woodworth, just turn to the east. Heading like you were going to I-49 or towards Indian Creek, and we'll be there on the right. Parking will be along Robinson Bridge Road, so there's not a lot of parking, so that just understand you'll probably need to park on the side of the road. But and the event starts at 8:00, goes to 1:30, free event. Going to be lots of fun things. And like I said, we'll have the door prizes. You do not have to be present to win the door prizes. So, if you win something, we'll contact you if you're not able to stay the whole time. But you're going to have so much fun. You're going to want to stay the whole time.
I hear you. I hear you. Well, Jim, thank you so much for taking time to share this exciting event with us. We're looking forward to seeing everyone out there this Saturday. Before we go, I'd like to remind our listeners that the upcoming election about the upcoming election on November the 5th. And we're not saying who to go vote for, but just get out there and exercise that right. Don't forget to register and make your voice heard. We also want to thank our followers and advertisers for your continued support. Math Makes Sense, National Auto and Tire, Sadler's Towing, Long's Preferred Products, and Peter Williams' campaign for Congress. Stay engaged, stay informed, and we'll see you the next time. Jim, I'm going to go ahead and end this live.
Thank you, Jack. Appreciate you.
You're welcome.